Hello, hello, how are you? If your life seems to be going through changes all of a sudden, or maybe it has been for a long time, your life might be changing seasons. This idea might be foreign to you, or maybe you know about it, but just like the seasons change in our world, our lives change as well. To everything in this world, there is a season. So let's get started on what spiritually is coming to me for myself, but also for you. I'll get right back to you. So here we are, and we're talking about seasons and how everything in life goes through seasons, including us. If you haven't noticed or noted by now, we and everything is attached to nature. It's the way that everything has been designed. So doesn't it seem, I just want to propose this question here, doesn't it seem like all creation is groaning? Doesn't it seem very grievous in the world right now? Doesn't it seem like the earth is shifting, like humanity is shifting? There's an anger, there's an upsetness, there's an emotionality we haven't seen before. Things are shifting and changing, and it feels uncomfortable. The weather has been erratic and crazy, and we're cranky. We are. Humanity is crabby, and so is the earth. It's like we're going through one season to another. It's a shift. It's a consciousness shift, and it's a shift that God has ordained into this life and into this period of time. It means that we have graduated from the previous facet of life, and now we need to be strong enough to endure this part of life, and it could be totally beautiful. We have to wait till we get on the other side of the shift, right? So our lives go through very similar shifts, just like the seasons. And so we go through the spring, the summer, the fall, and the winter, but sometimes it gets really erratic, like it is now. Can you tell the winter from the fall now? Can you tell the winter from the summer? It feels like the summers are so much more hot and the winters are so much more crazy. They're cold or they're flooding, and it's just crazy. We're going through a cleansing by fire, by water. It's like a holy baptism in this world and of humanity. So if you find that your life feels just as cranky and crabby, and that it's going through a shift, just like the earth is, please take note. You're going into a new facet or season of your life, and it might seem very erratic. People are leaving you. They're getting very cranky at you. Whatever used to fit before doesn't anymore. Your life feels like there is this great big puzzle, and the pieces all went together, but all of a sudden, they don't fit the same. They don't look the same, and they don't feel the same. I'm going through the very same thing. In fact, that's what sparked this whole conversation. 10 years ago, I made a trip from California to Texas. I went through a major shift in my life. The time frame that I spent traveling from California to Texas was one of the most profound times in my entire life. I felt like God and the universe were speaking to me more than ever before. Has this life been easy in Texas? No. There have been good things about it, but it hasn't all been easy. It's been a learning experience, like life is, like seasons are, and every season will bring them. So if you're feeling like you're out of sorts, like you just don't fit in your life anymore, like your body doesn't fit in that space anymore, Like people don't fit in that place anymore. The puzzle pieces are different and they're being moved around and they're shifting. And you feel like, oh my goodness, I'm so crabby about this. I'm laughing, I'm crying, I feel emotional, all the above. It's normal. It doesn't feel like it, but it is. And now I'm on the brink of going back from Texas and moving back to California after 10 years, a full decade of life lessons and learning and finding out and discovering about myself and who I really am and what I want. And I know I'm moving further into my purpose. And how profound is that? But along with that comes grieving and letting go and saying goodbye. And there's a part of me that's in absolute euphoria. I look so forward to the birthing of a new season. It's like looking forward to giving birth to a new child. You're giving birth to yourself when you're going through a different phase of learning and a different season in your life. And that's how it feels to me right now. I feel like I'm giving birth to myself. And if you're a woman and you've experienced labor pains, you know it's not always euphoria. It's not always easy. Sometimes it rips and tears. Sometimes it hurts like crazy. And it eases up. And you feel like you're going through this rocky sea. And you're going through hills and valleys. But take heart, because the baby will be born, okay? That new life will be born, that new facet of yourself, that new area of learning and experiencing, and you'll wake up into it with wide-eyed wonder. And it won't always be easy. It will be foreign and different. Even going back to California, I have to come to the point where I need to realize it's not going to be the same as it was 10 years ago or even before that. And thank goodness, because I've grown. So it has to look different. It has to be different. And it will be for you if this is where you're at. If you're going through a fall season in your life, it means things are falling away. They're dying away, and what used to work in your life doesn't work anymore. If there was a certain facet of your life where you did a particular thing for a part of your purpose, and you always did it, and you're finding it doesn't work anymore, that is a reflection of the fall in your life. But take heart, because winter will come, and even though it feels like it's cold and you're going through grief, the wind is going to blow you onward, and you will arise in the spring once again. And you will come to that point in your life where, yes, you've been delivered, just like a baby, into that new season. And God and all of the promises of the universe are with you. I want you to know that as hard as things might be, or could be in your life, you're never ever alone. You're never ever expected to go through one facet of your life alone, not from the moment that you were conceived and brought into this planet or onto this earth. You've never been alone. You've always been supported. You've always had that support. You just need to ask. And so a lot of us are just not very good at asking. And we need to get better, right? So if you are at a point where you feel like you're at the breaking point, start asking for spiritual guidance and spiritual help, because when you do ask, you will receive, right? So I hope this makes sense for you. It's not always easy to grasp because you have to really sit down and look. Take some inventory about your life. And if you find like you're hitting a brick wall and maybe you're going through a roller coaster and it feels like you're about ready to get seasick, take some inventory and take a look back on the last 10 years of your life and see where you have been and where that has brought you and what you have discovered about yourself. And ask the question, am I at the point where my season is shifting and I'm going into a new season in life? And because I am, my life is going to be going through that metamorphosis. I'm chipping through the crust that the caterpillar goes through once it turns into the butterfly, and the butterfly starts to chip through that cocoon and it comes out and it's flying. Well, that's the place that you are at right now. If those are the things that you're feeling, if you feel like your life is kicking you out, don't despair, because you will be flying in no time at all. And it's going to be so beautiful. Will there be problems and issues? Oh yeah. A new facet of life. When you are up-leveled in life, there's a new level of teaching. There's a new level of understanding. There's a new level of coming to understand that you're growing and how you're growing. You're going to be expected to do those things that you've been dreaming of. All the things that your heart has been putting out there in the universe, and God has captured all of those things. And all of your assistants in spirit, your angels, they've captured all those things. Well, guess what? You're getting what you always wanted. But along with that comes more responsibility. You have to learn to take the responsibility with what has been given. To those who much has been given, much is going to be expected. So before you make your leap, before you decide, okay, this is what I need to do, count the cost first. Are you really ready? Make sure you are. Take some inventory. Take moral inventory. Is my morality ready? Are my values ready? Are my emotions ready? Am I stilled, just like stilled water? Or am I still rocking the boat myself? Because sometimes it's not the sea that's rocking you. You're rocking your own boat. So figure it out. Figure it out. And if you feel at the end of figuring it all out that you really, really, truly are ready, take that leap, because it'll be so worth it. If you need help during any of this process, if you need some clarification, if you feel like, oh wow, this doesn't make any sense at all. I had plans in my life. This is how I was going to order my life. Some of us are just like that. We're planners, right? And that's good. It's okay. But life does not always go according to that plan, because when things are easy and always smooth sailing, there's no growth, and you never learn how to field all of the hills and valleys of the ocean. When the oceans roar and is starting to get loud and those hills are starting to well up, you feel those waves are coming at you. You have to be ready to navigate those waves. So make sure that you're ready. Again, if you need help with it, I'm always available. I am going through a process, so you may not get a video except for maybe once a month. And when I get closer to that moving process, it might be a little bit less. And then when I get very settled and situated, then it'll probably be a lot more. And you're going to see a different facet of my life. And that's the best I can do to teach you anything, right? It's going to be teaching me something more than anything else, but I always pass on what I receive. I pass on wisdom, I pass on knowledge. Whatever I receive, I like to give. You know, that's part of my facet of life, and that's what gives me the most gratitude, is giving to all of you. All of you are just wonderful to me. So stick with me, and I'll share some of my journey as I can. And when things come through the spiritual pipeline, I'll share some of that as well. I'd love to hear some of yours, so don't be a stranger there. And I look forward to talking to you very soon. I'm always open to do sessions. I can do them by Zoom call. We can go through all of those hills and valleys that you're working your way through. Sometimes you just need to hear yourself speak it out. And then it kind of all comes together and those aha moments start to come out. We need those moments in time, don't we? So if you do need that, get in touch with me. My number will be in the description box below. And if you do give me a call, make sure you give me a complete message so that I know what you're looking for and who you are and when the best time is to get back to you. Until then, I'm just going to say I am so loving you from here, and I'll talk to you again very, very soon. Bye-bye.